Hey everybody, my name is Kalle Slaap, watchmaker from the Netherlands, and today working on your metal bracelet, watch band, watch strap, whatever you call it. So many people try to, adjust the size or do something about the bracelet and make horrible scratches because they simply don't know what to expect. They miss a bit of information. Well, this video is that bit of information, and let's make a deal, even if you think, well, watch strap. Blah. If there is a bit of information you think, oh, let's make a deal, then I want a like for this video. Because I think there are a few bits of information that are essential for a beautiful end result. Here in the Netherlands we call this a bracelet and this a strap, because you strap it around your wrist. I know some other parts in the world we have a different name. This can be a watch band, and some people call this a strap as well. Whatever floats your boat, whatever flicks your switch. But because I am here in the Netherlands, I call this a strap and this a bracelet, but you know what I mean. Let's focus on the metal bracelets because there is quite a bit to tell you about. And then you know what to expect, and then you get the perfect end result. Trust me. The basics, the obvious. A metal band needs a pivot point to be comfortable on your wrist. So far so good. Most bands aren't straight, so you see this is much wider than this. So only these are the same size. You can see here it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So only those you can work on for the length of your bracelet. Simply these are a different size and these are the same. See? Simple as that. When working on a bracelet, the metal bracelet, there are a few things that I like to think makes life easier. First things first, I like to work on it when it's completely open, so the push pin in the clasp is removed. And because we are in a workshop here working on watches of different clients, we always place back the push pin, not to lose it, but then we know the size of the customer. So when we give back the watch, it is the perfect size, and small stuff like that I think is really important in watchmaking. So always place the push pin back in the right hole, then you know the right size and you don't lose it. And then there are so many different solutions to the same technical problem, because a watch band must be bending, obviously, but the pivot point can be so different because these are just a selection of pins being used in a metal bracelet. Here is, we call it a split pen or an open end pen. Is it open end? Yeah, open end pins. These two are together and you can see a small notch in the middle. So this is a tube. This is a pin and it's secured by this notch in the middle. That's a solid pin. This is a non-solid pin, but with a knurled back. It is a screw type pin, like Rolex uses screw type pins. Here is thread, and here again a tube and a solid pin with a notch on the side, and here you see it tiny bit bigger. So we already know some of the pins aren't symmetrical. This side is larger, this one is symmetrical, this side is larger, and that side is larger. So there must be a code. And there is. Simple on bracelets. Here, a simple Michael Kors thingy. You can see arrows. The arrows means that this side is the larger end of the pin. So you can push it out that way and push it back in that way. If you try to bang it out this way, the larger pin must go through all the strap and you are ruining your strap. Takes way too much force, a hassle, and unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. So if there's an arrow, you already know the pins are asymmetrical, so the wide end must go that way. Well, that's a good start. Cheers. To work on bracelets, it has to be clean, and you know by watching this YouTube channel Chronoglide with the live streams, it can be disgusting how a watch with the wrist cheese looks like. Use a brush first to simply brush off the bracelet, and then you know what you're looking at. You can see so much more detail. You can even use a toothbrush, why not at home? But I like a nice sturdy brush, and there is a coat to it. Was it a Glasgow coat? Was that the brush Glasgow or the coma for patients? That might be a Glasgow coat as well. Well, not too soft because you want to brush all the stuff off. Don't buy things too expensive. Even a nail brush will do. Top tip number 2, I think. Use magnification. If you don't see what you're doing, you cannot do a proper job. I am 51. I don't see it with the naked eye. So if you use a loop like this, very inexpensive. If you use a thing like that, widely available, use it. Use the tools available. Well, this one is Edwin's and he loves this one. I like my microscope or even a loop like that. Well, it's in another video, but if you use a loop like this, place it on your dominant eye. Keep both eyes open. If you squint, you get seasick or get a splitting headache. I do. Keep both eyes open and your brain will go to that particular eye. Your brain will take care of the rest, trust me. Keep both eyes open. So now it's clean. You can see what you're going to do and you recognize what pin to use. If there's an arrow, it's asymmetrical. If there isn't an arrow, it's probably symmetrical. Then the tools. We have those of many brands, and you don't need, you can even 3D print stuff like that. You don't need beautiful brands. The simplest will do. The only thing is you need some support and you need some holes so the pin can go through. If you don't have stuff like this or a limited budget, yeah, I understand completely. Use a wood chopping board. If it's a straight edge, you can tap it right next to the edge so the pin goes through. And if it's got well, how you call it, a gully like that, use that. Don't make it too hard for yourself. A wooden chopping board will do. And the wooden surface, or any surface, has to be, well, softer than metal, obviously, otherwise you make scratches. If you are working on a bracelet, it might move a bit on the surface, so make sure the surface is nice and clean. Even some sand from in between the bracelet will make scratches, and it's just not necessary, and that's why you brush it all off. Asymmetrical pins, symmetrical pins, how do you get them out? Usually a client comes here with a brand new watch, way too long bracelet, and two, probably three links has to be removed. Many jewelers here in the Netherlands say, we're not doing that, you didn't buy your watch here, so don't expect any service. We aren't that childish. Of course, when the clients come here, of course we're going to help. But it's a brand new watch, flawless, no scratch. And we have to remove two, maybe three links without making scratches. That is, yeah, okay, we'll do it. Not making scratches means using softer material than the bracelet. So this is a great help. Remember the chopping board tip. And then tapping out the pins. There are many tools. We have these, and even of other brands, I think they're horrible. But that's just me. If you use them on a bracelet every single day, always the same, maybe this is the best. For me, it isn't. I never ever use this stuff because I think you don't have control over the force and the applied force. This is just... You can use it, but it's not for me. The only thing is basic. You need a pin, and that will push out the pins in the bracelet. Well, look at the arrow. Make sure it's supported. I like to use a pin like this and then tapping it with our trusty brass hammer. You can see it's brass because all the dents with the steel stuff we tap. For me, this is the best control of force. There is, without using a hammer, there are these. They are from our wholesaler, and I'm not sure if there's a brand attached. I know Horotech makes them as well, and maybe Bergeon, but the thing is, this is spring loaded and has a kick. maybe on this one here. And with that tick, you push out the link. I use it regularly, but usually I forget we have it and we just use these. Not really a difference. And again, with just a trusty hammer and a pin like that, you can tap it out. A pin like this means the hole size of these pins can vary dramatically. Over here we have so many types of assortments. Simple, here is all the this is all the length of the pins, and the outer diameter, this is just the 1.1 millimeter. The outside diameter, the rest is all length, but the outside diameter varies with every single brand and maybe every single model. You need so many pins here. All of that are different length sizes and thickness sizes. And you need them all because, well, when a client comes in, he or her wants to wait until we're finished, because it's just removing a few things. How difficult can it be? Well, quite difficult, to be honest, especially if you don't want to make any scratches. When working on a bracelet, especially with a new watch, there is no shame in using a bit of tape, especially with replacing the pin and tapping it back in. This is Kapton tape for polishing. There is no shame in using that, tapping it in and not make any scratches. Why not? So we have, we have these, but you need several sizes for tapping. We use all these, and just like a screwdriver, it's got a screw on the side, so you can change those pins. All you need is a hard material. Why not use a used drill, grind it flat. If you are working on watches a bit more, buy an inexpensive screwdriver set and make the inserts straight. Just grind them straight, and you got all different sizes for tapping. Don't buy insane tool kits for quite a bit of money, and you really don't need it. So, a small recap. I think we've got it all. Replace the pin for the right size. Read the back of the bracelet. If there's an arrow, it means it's an asymmetrical pin being used. So outwards towards the arrow and then back in from the same side. We haven't discussed the pin and tube construction yet. Usually the inner bit is where the tube lies, and then the pin goes through and through, And this is a replacement pin, so way too long, but it always fits. So on a lathe we make it exactly the right size, and then we can use it. Much used in Omegas and Seikos, this pin and tube solution. And here the tube is on the side. You can see it immediately when you're working on it. So there is no arrow here. What else can we say? Make sure you see it. Make sure you use your right pins. You can use a used drill. Take your time and step by step make sure the surface is nice and soft and not sandy or stuff. Don't make any scratches. I hope this was helpful. If there was any new information, please like. Next week the watch straps, because there is a thing or two to say about the push pins, the construction, and what not to do when changing watch straps. All of you, thank you so much for your attention. My name is Kalle Slaap, watchmaker of the Netherlands. Enjoy your viewing. See you. Bye bye.